Working with content areas. In this tutorial, we'll discuss why you might want to create a content area in your Blackboard course and how to create and add to a content area. You might want to create a new content area on your menu if a particular content or activity doesn't neatly fit into a single unit that's been organized into a learning module or folder. Other examples include that you need a place where you can create links to midterms or final exams, or perhaps to projects that span units across the entire term, such as a research project. In this short video, I'll use the example of a term-based research project. Let's say that I have learning modules such as those that I have in this class, but my research project spans multiple weeks or multiple units. I need a separate place where my students can go directly to the information and resources and the assignment for a term-based research project. This is very easy to do. First, I'll create a new content area and call it Research Project. To do this, I'll click the Add Menu Item button, and then I'll select Content Area. I'll name the content area Research Project. I'll make sure that it's available to users and then click Submit. It shows up at the bottom of the menu. I'm going to drag it up so that it's right below the Course Units button so that all of my course content links are together on my menu. Next, I'll click right on this button. Now I'm on my new content area called Research Project. You can always tell when you're on a content area because it will have these buttons shown at the top, such as Build Content, Assessments, Tools, etc. Let me begin by creating a link to the assignment for the research project. This is how students will actually submit whatever it is that they're going to be providing to the instructor, such as a Word document or PowerPoint, for example. Very quickly, I'll create a sample assignment. I'll click the Assessments button and then select Assignment. I'll name this assignment Research Project Assignment. Of course, I would include any instructions for the assignment. For now, I'm simply going to put in the points possible, which is required, and then I'm going to scroll down and click Submit. Now I've created a link to the research project assignment. Once the students have completed the assignment and they're ready to submit it, they would navigate to this link. Next, I'll create a folder. I'll call this folder Assignment Resources, and then I'll click Submit. I could open up this folder and I could upload files that the students might use in order to submit the assignment. I'll do that now. I'll upload a sample file so you can see how it's done. I'll click Build Content and select File. Now I'll browse to one of the files that my students might use in order to complete this assignment. I'll click Browse My Computer and I'll select a case study PDF. Click Open and then click Submit. Now my students have a link to a case study. Perhaps they have to review this case study before they submit the assignment. I'll add a few more case study links here as well. Okay, I finished adding the resources. Now I'm ready to look at this the way a student might see it. So I'm going to click Edit Mode Off. Now I'm going to click on my Research Project button. Here's how your students would see this new content area. They would click on the menu button. They would see the assignment. They could open up the Assignment Resources folder, and then they could open any of the articles or other types of resources that you've uploaded. That's really all there is to it. Now you know how to create content area for a specific project or projects that are outside the scope of individual units in your course. Similarly, you might want to create a special content area where students can find links to your midterms or exams.